Thank you. Well, good morning, Palm Harbor. Great to be back here. I just want to say, after listening to those essays, I was really impressed. And I know they got checks there, but I am publicly telling Florida's Commissioner of Education, Stasi Kamoutis, who's doing a great job. We have additional funds. I know we give scholarships out. We're going to give more money to these kids for that because they deserve it. So we'll figure it out. We'll find a way. So make sure you talk to us, and we will get that done. And one of the things I appreciated about what they said, and Mark had mentioned it too, you'll often hear there were almost 3,000 killed, mostly Americans, but not all, almost 3,000 killed that day. And that's people that were in the towers, people in the Pentagon, people that were on the plane that crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. But then, of course, the first responders who responded and were going into the burning buildings, many of whom were there when the buildings collapsed. And so they died. And it's obviously very important to recognize that. But you had a lot of people who were on the ground that day saving lives, who were on the rubble day after that, trying to recover, trying to see if anyone survived, just making sure we could account for everybody. And they did that, and they did that for quite a while, and that's taken a huge toll on them. There's been many that have died in the years since as a result of what they did that day and in the ensuing days. There's others, first responders, who are still suffering from very significant afflictions as a result of their service on that day. So all in, you're looking at way more than 3,000 people as a result of that terrorist attack on 9/11. And I know we've got some folks that have since relocated to Florida who are battling different types of illnesses as it relates to that day and their service after. And just know, this day is a day to also thank them for what they did and just express sympathy for what they're still going through, because it's been very difficult for a lot of people and a lot of families. One of the things that I wrestle with just as governor, I was in my early 20s when 9/11 happened. So that was probably the foremost experience in terms of our country in my lifetime. I remember as a kid when the Challenger exploded in 1986, especially in Florida. We would watch to see it go up, and it was a really significant tragedy. I kind of had a sense that some things were happening when the Berlin Wall fell and when the Soviet Union expired, but nothing rivaled what happened on 9/11. It changed the trajectory of my life. I mean, I probably would not have become a naval officer had that not happened, and I know it changed the trajectory of so many others' lives. But I think about my kids, kindergarten, second grade, third grade. They have no concept of anything with 9/11. You look at people that are in high school now, just left to their own device, not going to have much of a sense of that. So I'm very proud that we have worked here in Florida, and I think we were the first state, and I don't know that there were very many states since. We have required 9/11 curriculum in the schools now, where we're teaching our kids, one, just about the fact that we were attacked by an enemy that day. It was not a foreign army. These were individuals who were motivated by an ideology that is foreign to this country's founding and foreign to our way of life, and that was part of the reason they wanted to attack the vibrancy of this country in the heart of the financial capital, in the heart of the military capital, and the Pentagon. That was their goal to do that day. It's important that kids understand that happened, that they were motivated, why they were motivated, and that the evil does exist in this world. It's also important that our kids know that it is the worst attack that's ever taken place on American soil. The response you saw that day from NYPD, Port Authority, FDNY, what you saw with the military and the Pentagon, these were people, and even what you saw, and these people don't get as much credit, you had people that were working in the World Trade Center towers, business guys, executives, and there were a number of them who could have just simply left, but they were out there rescuing the other people in their office. And many of them died as a result of their selflessness, because they cared about getting others to safety, and they were willing to risk their own safety in the process. It's important for our kids to know that on the worst day, where the worst evil was put before us, we saw some of the best that this country has to offer. We saw true heroism. We saw selflessness. We saw people run into the fire, and that is not something that happens every single day. We also, I think, are looking at this 24 years later. That attack was an exterior attack with people that were emanating from foreign lands with a foreign ideology. And, yesterday we saw the assassination of a young political leader, Charlie Kirk, who I knew, many of you probably knew. And you see some of the evil that's lurking within. And we've got some problems in this country. You can have disagreements. Sometimes these are really fierce disagreements. But the viability of a republic really depends on our ability to fight those battles in the proper arena, leading into voting, leading into debate, all that, and then being able to move forward as one country. And what happened yesterday was somebody that was assassinated just because they were bringing different viewpoints to college campuses. It isn't easy to go onto college campuses and express views that Charlie have, or for me, for that matter, that you go in. That's usually pretty hostile terrain. But he always did it in good faith. He always wanted to have a free exchange of ideas. And the response to that, if you don't like it, is not to shout or scream someone down. It's not to create unrest so that the mob makes the event not happen. And it is certainly not that you kill somebody in order to silence them. So let's not... So as we commemorate the lives we lost that day because of that terrorist attack, and as we recognize the evil that was present in this country as a result of this external force and this external ideology, let's not now, 24 years later, succumb as a country to some of those forces inside our country who are really trying to upend what America's all about. I'm really thankful to have gotten to know a lot of folks who were in service on 9/11. Other than the New York City, greater New York City area, there's more veterans of 9/11 in Florida than anywhere else by a country mile. And that's part of the reason we were able to do the curriculum, because you had so many folks who were able to participate and provide input so that we're able to do that. So here we are 24 years later. As a dad, my wife and I, we want to make sure our kids understand what happened that day and the significance. As a governor, I've used the authority I have to make sure that all of our school children are exposed to the truth, that they understand the heroism that was involved in combating the evil that day, and that they will resolve to never forget what happened to our country. I appreciate you guys doing this every year. I've been able to come to a number of these. It's a great community, but I think it really speaks volumes that you turn out year after year to be able to commemorate the folks we lost on that day, and then, of course, that have succumbed to illnesses in the ensuing years. So thank you. We appreciate everybody that's doing this, and thank you, everybody who's currently in uniform running into those fires on our behalf. We never forget your sacrifice. Thank you, guys. God bless.